This is the problem with the 2026 Lexus LX600. It looks like the safe rich person choice, right up until you realize some brand new LX600s have already been pulled into a transmission recall. Early versions of this engine family had the kind of recall that makes owners whisper engine replacement, like it's a haunted house. And the payment can casually stroll past mortgage territory if your dealer and your annual percentage rate are both feeling spicy. And yet, somehow, this giant Lexus still might be one of the least insane ways to spend six figures on a luxury SUV. That is the LX600 in one sentence. Financially ridiculous, mechanically serious, slightly old-fashioned, weirdly lovable, and absolutely not the no-brainer people think it is. Because this is not just a Lexus badge slapped on a big couch. This is the fancy version of Toyota's global Land Cruiser idea. Body on frame. Full-time four-wheel drive, real low-speed off-road hardware, a twin-turbo V6 making 409 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, a 10-speed automatic, up to 8,000 pounds of towing. It is built like it expects the apocalypse to have valet parking. But here is the open loop. The biggest problem with the LX is not the engine, not the fuel economy, and not even the price. It is the fact that Lexus built an incredible luxury expedition truck and then accidentally made it compete with luxury family SUVs that are better at being family SUVs. We'll get to that because it matters more than people want to admit. First, the money. The LX600 starts around $107,950 in premium trim. F-Sport handling lands around $114,950. Luxury is around $116,950, and that is before taxes, registration, dealer add-ons, protection packages, ceramic coatings blessed by dealership monks, and whatever else gets printed on the paper while you are still emotionally vulnerable. And the market has changed. Early LX600 hype was full of waitlists, markups, and dealer nonsense. People were talking about five-figure adjustments just to get in line. That was the era when dealers acted like every luxury SUV was a limited edition Ferrari with cup holders. Now, inventory is more normal. Some national pricing tools show suggested transaction prices below sticker on certain trims. That does not mean every dealer is generous. It means the panic has cooled. So if a salesperson still tries to hit you with a giant additional dealer markup on an LX600, smile politely and leave. Do not reward that behavior. That is how we got 84-month loans and emotional damage. And speaking of loans, here is where the LX stops being a car and becomes a spreadsheet with leather seats. Around 7% annual percentage rate on a six-figure vehicle is not a rounding error. It is a vacation home for interest. If you finance one of these with a small down payment over a long term, the Lexus badge may say reliability, but your bank statement says comedy special. Now, depreciation. The LX is not a Range Rover falling off a cliff in a tuxedo, but do not confuse strong resale with free ownership. In dollars, the drop is brutal because the starting number is enormous. Used LX600s from the early years are already sitting far below their original transaction prices. A 3-year-old one can live in the low $90,000 range, and some used listings sit lower depending on mileage, trim, and history. So yes, it holds value better than many European luxury SUVs, but losing 20 grand or more is still losing 20 grand or more. Lexus resale does not magically turn depreciation into a charitable donation. So, what are you actually buying? You are buying quiet. You are buying durability culture. You are buying a cabin that owners constantly praise for seats, ride isolation, steering confidence, and that big, expensive bank vault feeling. Owners talk about the seats like they are medical equipment. The Mark Levinson audio gets plenty of love. Highway driving is relaxed. The engine has real torque down low. It does not need drama to move. The LX is not fast in a silly modern way. It is not pretending to be a super SUV. It moves with that I own the road and maybe the company that paved it energy. The 10-speed automatic usually keeps the engine in its torque band, and the whole thing feels less stressed than its size suggests. But in the city? Different story. This thing is big, tall, and expensive enough to make every parking garage feel like a financial trust exercise. The cameras help. The upright view helps. The Lexus Calm helps. But if your life is tight streets, tiny parking spots, school pickup chaos, and grocery lots designed by people who hate doors, the LX is not a relaxing object. It is a luxury yacht trying to dock at a coffee shop. Fuel economy is exactly what you expect from a body-on-frame luxury four-wheel drive SUV that weighs about as much as a small moon. The official estimate is 17 miles per gallon city, 22 highway, and 19 combined. Real-world owner tracking often lands around the high teens if you drive like an adult, and worse if you drive it like you are late to a board meeting and angry at physics. Also, it wants premium fuel. So yes, it is more efficient than the old V8 LX570. No, it is not efficient in any normal human sense. Now the part Lexus fans do not love hearing. Packaging. This is where the big open loop starts to close. The LX is huge outside, but not huge inside where families care. The second row is fine. Comfortable, quiet, genuinely nice. The third row? Kids, occasional passengers, short trips. Adults can fit back there the same way adults can fit in a middle airplane seat. Technically, yes. Spiritually, no. And cargo space with all seats up is not great. This is the irony. You buy a giant SUV, then fold seats like you are solving furniture Tetris. Competitors like the Escalade, Navigator, and GLS feel more honest as family haulers. They are not as globally rugged as the Lexus, but they carry people and stuff with less drama. If you need a luxury bus, the LX may annoy you. If you need a luxury Land Cruiser, it makes sense. That is the whole secret. The LX600 is not best judged against soft luxury crossovers. It is best judged as an expedition-grade luxury truck that happens to have massage seats, a head-up display, adaptive cruise control, lane assistance, automatic emergency braking, cameras, and Lexus Safety System Plus 3.0. The tech is useful, but not magical. There is no true hands-free highway driving experience here like some American luxury rivals offer. The infotainment works, but owners and forum people regularly complain about menu logic, wireless phone connection quirks, and general, "why is this not easier" moments. Very Lexus. Dependable, expensive, and occasionally one software menu away from making you sigh. Now, reliability, this is where the video gets spicy. Lexus has one of the best reputations in the business, but the LX600's twin-turbo V6 family has not had the clean, boring, old-school Toyota launch that people expected. Earlier 2022 to 2024 LX models were pulled into engine recalls tied to machining debris that could affect main bearings and lead to knocking, rough running, no start conditions, or loss of motive power. That is not internet gossip. That is recall level serious. For 2026 specifically, the scary headline is the transmission software recall affecting certain 2025 and 2026 LX600 vehicles. The issue involves the 10-speed automatic transmission control logic and a failure scenario where the transmission can damage itself, possibly causing loss of motive power at speed and even a fluid leak fire risk in the wrong conditions. Lexus dealers update the software free of charge. Is every LX doomed? No. Is it something you ignore because the grille is shiny? Also no. This is why the pre-purchase inspection matters, even on a nearly new one. Check the vehicle identification number for open recalls. Confirm software updates. Listen for abnormal engine noise on cold start. Watch the transmission for harsh shifts, delayed engagement, or weird flares. Check service records. Inspect the active height control and adaptive suspension, because fancy suspension is wonderful until it becomes a tuition payment. Look at tires and brakes, because 22-inch wheels look great and can punish your wallet like it owes them money. Check roof seals, sunroof noise, tailgate operation, cameras, sensors, seat memory, and phone pairing. Owner forms have recurring little complaints: wind noise around the roof or sunroof area, infotainment frustration, occasional wireless phone weirdness, ride harshness on big wheels, and some random electrical convenience gremlins like power tailgates or seat and steering memory behavior. None of that makes the LX junk. It makes it a modern luxury vehicle, which means it has enough electronics to run a small airport and enough trim pieces to create new sounds when temperature changes. And before somebody comments, "My uncle has one and it's perfect," good. That is allowed. Many owners adore these things. Some report zero major problems and talk about the LX like it is the last civilized machine on Earth. That is the point. The ownership experience can be fantastic, but the buyer has to separate brand reputation from actual model year risk. Quick pause, because this is the exact kind of rabbit hole we dig into on the second channel too. If you enjoy watching the car market pretend everything is normal while a family SUV costs more than a house used to, subscribe here, then check out the second channel after this. It is cheaper than adding dealer nitrogen to your tires, and unlike that, it might actually do something. Now, trims. The premium trim is the rational buy, which is funny because nothing about spending over $107,000 on a giant Lexus is rational. But premium gets the core LX experience. Power, quiet, four-wheel drive, safety tech, 3 rows, and the flagship aura. F-Sport handling is for people who want their body-on-frame luxury off-roader to cosplay as an athlete. It gets sharper tuning, styling, big wheels, and a sportier feel. It looks cool, but if ride comfort matters, be careful. Owners already complain that the big wheels can make bumps feel a little too personal. Luxury is the sweet spot for most buyers who already accepted the absurdity. Better materials, more comfort equipment, the audio system people actually want, and enough luxury to justify the badge without going into chauffeured weirdness. The old ultra-luxury idea was interesting, but it turned the LX into a rear-seat executive lounge with compromised practicality. For the LX600 in 2026, the main gas trims are premium, F-Sport handling, and luxury. But here is the annoying twist. The LX700H exists. The hybrid makes more power and much more torque, and some versions add cooler off-road hardware. The official combined fuel economy improvement is only about 1 mile per gallon, so do not buy it thinking you are saving the rainforest. Buy it if you want torque, the newest tech story, and you are okay with extra complexity. For long-term simplicity, some buyers will still prefer the LX600. Parts availability should be better than boutique European luxury brands because Lexus and Toyota infrastructure is strong. But do not confuse available with cheap. This is still a rare, expensive flagship built in Japan with specialized parts, active suspension, expensive wheels, cameras, radars, luxury trim, and a drivetrain you do not want serviced by someone whose diagnostic strategy is try a battery and pray. So, who should buy it? Buy the LX600 if you keep vehicles long-term, value quiet comfort over flashy gadgets, want real four-wheel drive capability, tow occasionally, and like the idea of a luxury SUV that still has truck bones. Buy it if a Range Rover makes you nervous, an Escalade feels too showy, a Navigator feels too soft, and a Mercedes GLS feels too much like leasing a computer with seats. Avoid it if you need maximum third-row space, maximum cargo room, cutting-edge infotainment, hands-free driving, low fuel costs, cheap tires, or a vehicle that makes financial sense on paper. Also avoid paying over sticker, unless your hobby is becoming a warning story on forums. The best version? For most Americans, LX600 luxury at or below sticker. Premium if you want the core experience and can resist option fever. F-Sport only if you love the look and accept the ride trade-off. Used? Be very careful with 2022 through 2024 examples. Check recalls, service history, engine work, software updates, and warranty status. Mileage tampering is not a known LX epidemic, but six-figure luxury SUVs attract creative paperwork, so verify mileage through service records, title history, and inspection data. Final verdict, the 2026 Lexus LX600 is not the best luxury family SUV, not the cheapest to own, not the most advanced, and not immune from recall drama. But it is one of the few six-figure SUVs that still feels engineered for long-distance abuse instead of just luxury subdivision theater. It is a brilliant vehicle for a very specific buyer and a terrible flex purchase for the wrong one. If you understand what it is, you may love it for a decade. If you buy it because Lexus equals safe choice, you may discover that even safe choices can come with premium fuel, expensive tires, software recalls, and a third row designed by someone who apparently never met adult legs. So, here is the question. Would you buy the LX600, Step up to the hybrid, grab an Escalade or Navigator for the space, or go used and let someone else absorb the financial punch to the face. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to stay on the channel, watch the next video, because we are looking at another luxury SUV that looks like a bargain until the repair estimate walks into the room wearing a cape. Non-spoken research note.